Welcome to the Lily Kinney Show, the show full of juicy facts and places. And here's our host now, Lily Kinney.
Welcome, welcome. Special thanks to our studio audience for attending the show this evening. This week's juicy factor is the country of Italy. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, let me introduce our guest stars, Sarah Kinney, Britta Brain, and Lucy Ledbetter.
Ciao, ciao, Lily baby. Thank you for having us today.
No problem. It's a pleasure to have access to your expertise on Italy. As a tour guide, you've made getting to know Italy your job. Welcome to the show. Let's begin. Now, Britta and Lucy grew up in Italy. Tell me about their absolutely delicious cuisine.
Well, let me start with some staple breakfast foods. I can remember enjoying classic Italian scones and sometimes bread and butter, or cheese and bread, since my early childhood. My mother would make all of her dough from scratch. She loved to cook. It's an Italian tradition.
For lunch, we have pizza and pasta with sauces. Oh!
And for dinner, we usually have a big, fluffy bread with a small portion of meat, and of course, more pasta.
The last, but certainly not least important meal is dessert. We might enjoy gelato, freshly baked cakes, or any number of fine Italian pastries.
Yum, yum, yum. You're making me hungry. Let's change the subject to Italy's breathtaking landscape.
Oh, I've learned a lot about the country's climate and terrain throughout my domestic travels. Italy is located north of the Mediterranean Sea, south of Austria, west of Slovenia, and east of France. Also, its coordinates are 45 degrees north and 11 degrees east. I've visited many beautiful cities like Venice, Milan, and Rome.
You're right. We really have gotten to know Italy, and I bet you'd like to hear about it. These sites were during our travels.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I know that I went to visit Mount Vesuvius, and what a swell time I had. Oh, and we went to the Italian Alps as well to take advantage of their world-class skiing.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Now let's talk about how you've traveled to Mount Vesuvius. What methods of transportation are available in Italy?
You can get around via cars, mopeds, scooters, boats, trains, subways, and more.
But traveling from city to city takes a good amount of time. There are plenty of mountains and countryside to travel through. Do you know that Italy is quite mountainous and is larger in size than the Philippines?
Well, I can understand why Italians use large fleets of ships to transport both domestic and international goods then.
Makes sense. I was wondering what religion most Italians follow.
Ooh, I know this one. 90% of Italians identify as Roman Catholics, and 10% follow other types of Christian denominations and religions.
When I lived and studied in Italy, I came across pie charts that illustrated that most Italians vacation at the beach or mountains, and the main sports are skiing, soccer, biking, horse riding, tennis, boxing, fencing, swimming, track and field, cricket, rugby, and bocce, which is like outdoor bowling.
Now, Lucy, would you please tell me about how you observe in terms of living quarters in Italy?
A large percentage of people own houses, large villas, Lily. However, in the city apartment complexes are more common. I lived in a 14th century apartment building while studying in Rome. The architecture in Italy spans the centuries.
Indeed it does. The next thing we should talk about is weather. What type of climate should a visitor expect?
The climate, like the terrain, varies vastly throughout Italy. The Mediterranean beaches are warm, while the northern mountains can be frigid. The best advice I can offer travelers is to bring a range of clothes and dress accordingly to the forecast. When it rains, you must put on a rain jacket. And when it snows, you have to put on snow pants. Winter jacket, gloves, mittens, and winter boots, especially if you plan to ski in the Alps.
That is correct. Visitors should prepare for their trip to Italy by planning ahead.
Okay, though one never knows what to expect in Italy. From my perspective, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is about to tip.
Well, before it does, I want to thank you, Sarah, Lucy, Britta, for all your valuable information you gave to the studio audience and our viewers at home who might be thinking about taking a trip to Italy. We're out of time today, but thanks for tuning in. For more information, please visit my website at www.lilykinney.org.